It is the assessment of the United States government.
One of the dangers in a cycle of accusations and counter-accusations, sometimes with alleged evidence, is that war can break out without anyone really intending it.
The risks of miscalculation under current circumstances are quite high.
That's Ali Vaez, the project director for Iran at the International Crisis Group. He's constantly updating the U.S.-Iran trigger list on a map, keeping track of 10 locations where a war between the U.S. and Iran or its allies and proxies could be triggered by some kind of incident. The Strait of Hormuz entrance to the Persian Gulf is now classified orange, meaning a severe chance of bloodshed.
This is an early warning platform designed to ring alarm bells if in one of these areas of friction between Iran and the US and their respective allies in the region, there is a risk of a clash, a military clash, either intended or unintended.
The concept of the U.S.-Iran trigger list website is that violence in a distant corner of the Middle East could trigger reactions and retaliations in Syria, Israel, or Iraq. The most urgent flashpoints are marked in red, meaning critical. 2 red markers for the civil war in Yemen, where there's already conflict between allies of the U.S. and Iran. When the website was launched in 2017, with the Iran nuclear agreement still intact,
it really appeared that we were moving in the direction of diplomacy and not military confrontation.
You had very few flashpoints, and they weren't flashing red.
No, not at all. The mood was more focused on diplomacy than anything else.
There was less tension. When President Trump walked away from the Iran nuclear accord, did many of these flashpoints emerge only in the months after that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the fact that the US started a maximum pressure campaign to subject Iran to economic coercion and strangulate its economy was going to show its results somewhere in the region.
As for the chance the results of sanctions could be, as President Trump has suggested, talks between the U.S. and Iran?
I would certainly meet with Iran if they wanted to meet.
The chances, I think, are not very high for a diplomatic solution at this point in time, because there is just so much bad blood, mistrust between the two sides, and also the politics in Tehran and Washington are not very conducive to diplomatic negotiations at this stage.
And so, Ali Vaez keeps adding headlines to his database and adjusting the colors of his flashpoints on the map, regretting that no one is connecting the dots that represent the key capital cities.
Look, the reality is, even at the height of the Cold War, the U.S. always had a hotline with the Soviet Union. Now there is no channel of communication between Iran and the U.S., no direct channel between Iran and Israel, no direct channel between Iran and Saudi Arabia. And so we're basically engaged on a 3-front proxy war and Cold War between these 3 key actors in the region without really any exit ramp, because both sides are continuously escalating.
Dan Raviv, I-24 News, Washington.